Arizona is pro sports retirement.
You had no chance with Kelly Kapowski.
You don't make mistakes. Just happy little accidents.
You only live once.
Run wild on you.
Who would have seen this coming? Oh yeah, he's ranked on tackling dummies.
What's cracking, everybody? James Kell, Adam Rank here with you. We welcome you into the Tackling Dummers. We are the Tackling Dummies, just two idiots talking about football. Adam Rank, how you doing, pal?
Doing well, thank you. I am battling a little bit of a tooth injury, but other than that,
Are you?
Doing swell. Yeah, whatever. I'm an old man. Things are falling apart now.
Just two olds talking about football here. That's okay. How's your golf game doing, pal? I know Wednesdays. Well, you get out into the links. How many times do you go hit the links? Like 3 times a week, 4 times a week?
Oh no, just twice a week. Just
twice a week. Okay. Yeah, and Wednesday is one of your times. Yeah.
Wednesday I normally go. I didn't go this morning. Dialed it back in, but I should be back out there on Friday. Maybe I'll sneak out tonight.
Tonight? You're going to do a little afternoon sesh?
I don't like afternoon golf. I hate twilight golf, but in June it's always fun. I don't like.
'Cause it's too hot?
It's windy. There's too many people out there.
True.
I like going first thing in the morning. I just want to go, walk, get through it. You don't have to worry about finishing. But if there's like a group of 5 guys drinking Michelob Ultra Tall Boys, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, can we play through? Like, what's going on here? Things like that.
Yeah.
Like anytime you see people roll up and they got a golf cart full of beers, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Here we go. This is
what I need.
I'm not saying I am that guy, but I'm also saying I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to judge.
Just go to a bar. Like go pick up a 12-pack and go to a park and then check golf balls.
Well, this is exactly why Topgolf is so fun. Okay, you get to knock a couple back, you get to swing the club a little bit. I don't know, like drinking and doing stuff that's only like semi-athletic is actually extremely a good time, man. I mean, I hear what you say. You could do mini golf. There's a lot of different things you can do. Topgolf.
Love it. There you
not
go.
so many Topgolfs here in Southern California, but that's okay. Great show in front of us here today. Going to be talking about Justin Fields with the Bears, not starting week 1. We're going to talk about Le'Veon Bell, saying he'll never play for Andy Reid again.
That's crazy.
And then on top of that, it's kind of it will dovetail into a discussion about how much money would you spend, or how much money could you spend at a McDonald's or a drive-thru or a fast food chain. We should discuss that as well. And then, of course, Stephon Gilmore, trade rumors running amok right now, running abound. And I don't know, there's a few little trade destinations that I think are pretty spicy that make a little bit of sense. And Adam Rank and I will chop that up as well. And as we get time, for those folks who join us, we will answer your questions as they come available and as we see fit. But let's start off with the Chicago Bears. This is in your wheelhouse, Adam Rank. Justin Fields. Matt Nagy says Justin Fields, for sure, will not start week 1. And I don't know, like Twitter's kind of like, why are you even saying this, bro? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you even saying this? And week 1, they play the Rams, a team that you think could make a Super Bowl run, maybe the best team in the NFC. I don't know. What do you make of the comments, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the idea of not just handing it over to Justin Fields, give him something to work for. But at the same time, if he forces your hand, why wouldn't you be open to it? I thought that, if you listen to the interview a little bit more, I thought that there was some wiggle room. And we've kind of seen this situation play out in the most recent future or recent past with Dak Prescott, where it looked like, they had Tony Romo and Dak was just going to come in. And despite Dak being so good and overwhelmingly looked better than Tony Romo, he wasn't going to start. And it took an injury to Tony Romo for Dak to start. And of course, the Cowboys ended up going 13-3 and all that good stuff. Something like that could happen with the Bears, but I think that, this is just the way the coaches are, and they're going up against a pretty good team, a pretty good defense, the number 1 defense from last season. And so if Matt Nagy feels more comfortable going with Andy Dalton, and it's, it's going to be a home game for the Bears, so it would be pretty easy. But, if he wants to hold back and let him, I think week 3 or 4 against Detroit seems like one where might be the move. But, you know what? I'm not worried about it too much. I wasn't excited to draft Justin Fields for week 1. It's for the entirety of his career. And if it takes him a couple of games to get on the field, so be it.
I just want to say what's up to Plugged In with Jay. Heidi McBride joining into the program as well. What's up, guys? Appreciate you guys watching. I don't know. I'll say this, though, man. Like, look, the window of opportunity in the NFL is very short. And for me, it's like if Justin Fields legitimately gives you the best chance to win, you can't be throwing games away, Adam Rank. Like, you know what I mean? This team is built to win right now. It's an older team. It's an aging team. The defense especially. Look, they're not getting any younger, man. Like, if you are kind of holding Justin Fields back, what are you doing it for? This is not one of those developmental teams. These are one of those teams where you're hoping Justin Fields steps in and immediately contributes and is able to elevate your team to the next level. Is that not true?
No, I understand that, but you want to make sure that he's ready. You don't want to put him into a situation where, you know, you're a little too excited for it before you're ready to go. And you want to make sure that he understands everything that he's going to be seeing. You know, there's still preseason games to be had and some other things that'll go into it. But I think right now there's a plan, and the plan is to have Andy Dalton start in week 1. And, you know, that's just the way it is. I don't think you're throwing anything away. It's a long season. I know
it is a long season,
but you're like the window of opportunity, like the Bears going or not going to the Super Bowl is not going to hinge on whether Justin Fields starts in week 1. I think this is a long-term play. I think this isn't, you know, you got to have a strategy, you know, like if you're going to Vegas and you're counting cards, which is not illegal, it's just frowned upon. You're counting cards. You just got to kind of, write it out. You're going to get some bad hands here and there, but understand what the full puzzle looks like. So I'm not going to get bogged down by just one piece of it, one hand or anything like that. So I know everybody wants to make a big deal and everybody wants to clown Matt Nagy, but you know what? Let's just see what happens.
I kind of sort of understand the mentality in that, okay, listen, Justin Fields, his first game out the gates, do you want it to be against an elite defense like the LA Rams? Do you want it to be against Aaron Donald, for God's sakes? The answer is probably no. But again, that being said, it's like if this dude is giving you the best chance to win, Adam Rank, when I talk about a small window of opportunity, listen, sometimes, and you've seen it many, many times, one game can change the whole outlook of your season. One game can determine whether or not you get into the playoffs, and one game can determine whether or not you, not only if you get into the play. I mean, look at those Giants teams that won, right? With Eli, it's like they barely got in. 6 seed, just hanging on, and got in, and they win a Super Bowl. And of course, that changed Eli Manning's life. That changed the entire outlook of all of those Giants players that were on those squads back then. So that's what I'm saying in terms of, golly, man, it is a very small window of opportunity. And sometimes when you've got the right guy, you just let that guy go and play. Although that being said, it's like, I do understand. I do understand.
But you nailed it. Like that first game means everything. It's like last year, the Buccaneers lost their first game to the Saints, and they never recovered. Relax. It's totally cool. Okay. You know what, though? The one criticism I will take, though, is that Matt Nagy sometimes just seems so insistent on following in the footsteps of Andy Reid. Of like, hey, Patrick Mahomes didn't play that first season, and following that playbook too much. And everybody will agree that Andy Reid is a great coach.
Great coach.
Everybody wants to play for him. Like, I don't think there's ever been a single person who has ever said they don't want to play for Andy Reid. Has there ever been?
Never in the history of the NFL has there ever been a player that would ever say that they will never play for Andy Reid, because Andy Reid is an offensive mastermind. Andy Reid is one of the best coaches of all time. And why would anyone, let alone Le'Veon Bell, why would anyone say they would not play for Andy Reid? Can I ask you that? It makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't get it. Like, what is Le'Veon Bell? What has he done? Like, you held out from the Steelers,
right?
Took less money to play for the Jets, and then now you're pooping on Andy Reid. Like, you're the only guy who's like, I'll take Adam Gase over Andy Reid. Like, you've made some bad choices, pal. Like, I don't know what you're dealing. Aren't you the guy who's had the strippers who stole all his ice too, or something like that?
I don't know. That sounds like a very much like a Le'Veon Bell story.
Like, if it wasn't, it sounds plausible that it would have happened to him.
Right, exactly. It's like, Lev, bruh, what are you doing out here, guy? Like, are you serious? First of all, I love the fact that he's like, I will never play for Andy Reid again.
Okay.
As if he's got like suitors lined up out the door for his services. Bro, you may very well never play another NFL snap again. The last 3 teams that he has been on, the Steelers, Jets, and Kansas City, he has somehow found a way to force himself out and ingratiate himself with their fan base. It's like, guy, you're out of opportunities. You're playing a position that does not age well. Le'Veon Bell, what are you doing, my dude? It doesn't make any sense, man. And it's just kind of like, I just feel, you know what I feel like, Adam? I feel like Mike Tomlin deserves some kind of like award post fact. You know what I mean? Like the fact that he was dealing with in their prime craziness, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown on the same damn team. Adam Rank.
Yeah,
Mike Tomlin handling these guys.
And Ben Roethlisberger, everything he was going through.
And Ben Roethlisberger. Oh, my God.
How is Mike Tomlin not considered the greatest coach in NFL history?
Just the fact that he's... Just for that alone, man. He needs some kind of humanitarian award. But by the way, on your screen you see here, this is where he kind of, Le'Veon Bell actually commented. It was on the Rap Instagram page. And it's highlighted there, lol, they snapped. Okay, so now then there's like 192 replies. So somewhere in those replies, I didn't want to pull it all up, but somewhere in those replies, somebody had asked him about, Kansas City. He didn't play a snap in the Super Bowl, which I did find to be a little bit curious, but that's okay. I mean, you're Le'Veon Bell, and you were clearly the second wheel to CEH and all those things. It's fine. And in those replies, that's where Le'Veon Bell said, I will never play for Andy Reid again, which, Adam Rank, it's just mind-boggling to me. Why would you do this to yourself?
What is up with these guys getting into Instagram and being so, not fragile, but like whatever's happening? Like Jalen Ramsey got into it, with a bunch of people too, where he's commenting on every Bears account that has 400 followers. Oh, look at Darnell Mooney. Like, you're so worried about it. It's just crazy. Like, I don't know. Do these guys just have too much time during the offseason? Actually, it does remind me of a story of one time where I had the opportunity to talk to Pat Tillman. And I'm like, hey, why did you run a marathon? And he just said, oh, it's the offseason. I don't have shit to do. I'm like, oh, no, that makes sense. But at least he's being
first of all, Pat Tillman was a different dude, man. Pat Tillman, obviously a very different dude. I just, and the other thing I wanted to show you, Adam, was this. The fact that this dude, by the way, spent $700 at a Mickey D's. This man bought, not Le'Veon Bell, but this man on this post bought 84 double quarter bacon and cheeseburger. $620 on double quarter bacon cheeseburger? That's what? That's unbelievable, bro.
I love that somebody wanted the small decaf coffee. I don't want to be up tonight. I get a small decaf. By the way, McDonald's.
Or how about the senior Coke that he got for free there? He got that one nice. Senior Coke for free. That's nice.
Oh, can I get a senior Coke? That's nice of them. You know what? I will say this about McDonald's is low key, their coffee, it always costs $1. Yeah. There's a place actually by my house in Indian Wells, in Indio. There's a Starbucks and a McDonald's side by side, and the Starbucks will have a line wrapped around the building. And the McDonald's drive-thru will have like one person. Like, why are you not just going through and getting the McDonald's coffee? The Mac Cafe.
Are you serious?
Coffee, it's way better than Starbucks.
No, it is not. Stop it. That is an incorrect take. McDonald's coffee is trash.
Oh my gosh.
Now, it's worth the $1 because it's so cheap. But
my
I mean,
heavens.
you're comparing like, I don't know. This is like people who are like, oh, I prefer crunchy shell tacos versus soft shell tacos. Like, no, if you prefer crunchy shell tacos, you're a trash human being because it's super messy. And similarly, it's like if you are choosing a McCafe over a Starbucks, if you had an individual taste test and you're saying, oh, the McCafe is on par with the Starbucks coffee. No, you have trash taste buds, bro.
I'm going to put two black coffees in front of you and see if you can taste the difference.
Easy.
Yeah, well,
that's an easy one.
The Starbucks one will be the garbagey one.
No.
Starbucks, I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
They have you snowed with marketing. This is so terrible. Like there's a hierarchy.
You're this guy. You're this guy now.
Dunkin'. Well, first of all, Dunkin's better. And of course, Tim Hortons is better.
Tim Hortons for all our Canadian fans.
No, there's one in Times Square.
Is there?
I've been there. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time I'm in New York. Yeah. Although that's not true. There's one in Times Square across from the Hilton that I've been to once. But by the way, I think the moral of the story too is like go to a small coffee house. This is, late night. I don't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
I haven't found the local place in Indio. If anybody has a good coffee rec in Indio or La Quinta, give me a holler.
By the way, Heidi McBride is team crunchy tacos, which I can't get behind that, bro. I can't do it. Heidi, we love you. Heidi, we love you, but I can't get behind that. It's messy. It's rude. I mean, you take a bite and everything's falling out. Not team hard crunchy shell tacos. No. And then plugged in with Jay says, crispy. I don't know. Anyways, those who prefer McDonald's coffee will survive the apocalypse. He's talking to you, Adam Rank.
I think that's a positive
thing. He is saying you're one level above a cockroach with your taste buds, pal.
No, I think he's saying you're a hardy individual. Like you, if you have to be the person that walks around with a Starbucks logo out, like I already think less of you. I just want a black coffee. That's good, and I don't want to wait 30 minutes for it.
A black coffee from Starbucks is the best coffee that you can get from a major chain. It is. Now, but I agree with you. Go visit your local small business.
By the way,
shop.
this is also
that I agree with.
Actually, there's a Lee's coffee is really good. If you like Vietnamese coffee, Lee's is really good. But there's a donut shop down the road from me here. I don't even want to say what city I live in because I'm ashamed of it. That's good. No, wait, Tito quit. I can say Huntington Beach again. There's a donut shop out here that makes a great Vietnamese coffee. And they try to push it on me on Saturdays. I'm like, I only get this on Sundays. They try to push it on me, but Vietnamese coffee is really good too. So that's one of the benefits of living in Southern California is that you can always find out as well. Very good point. Dick Campa joining the chat. Appreciate you, Dick Campa. Longtime fan. Appreciate you joining in today. Very quickly, Adam Rank, how much would you spend? Now, this dude, like I said, spent $700 at the McDonald's. Now, obviously, I would hope, and I don't think he was getting it for himself, but $700 over at the Mickey D's is a hefty number, bro. That's By the way, there's so much there is so much to break down here. Like, if you're getting 84 double quarter pounders, do you have to be the one guy who's like, you know what? Nah, just I really need that quarter cheese deluxe sandwich. Can you get that for me? Like, bro, just go with it, man. Like, there's 84 double quarter bacon cheeseburgers, bro. Like, just go. You don't need to be the guy that's like, oh, no, no, that's okay. Just give me the quarter cheese deluxe, please. Thank you. Like, don't be that guy. What a douche. Yeah. That's a terrible person. You know what I mean? It's got to be the person who's ordering. Because maybe. Like, if you're sitting there and, like, if everybody gave me $700, yeah, they're like, hey, go get us 84 double quarter bacon and cheese. By the way, this is the thing. This was always my rule of bring back.
Okay.
is that I'm not bringing back soft drinks. Like, you
Right.
can go F off. With,
Yeah.
Go to the vending machine. Drink water. Like, I'm not bringing in a grip of soft drinks in those containers. That's not happening.
I mean, there's so many things going on. Like, for example, like he got 33 senior Sprites, and then somebody was like, no. I need one medium Sprite, please.
Like, everybody's getting a large.
What? Everyone's getting a senior Sprite. Nope. Give me
All
that
their
medium
drinks are
Sprite.
$1.
It's so crazy, man. Like, I don't understand what's going on. There's so many like weird random things going on with this order, which I absolutely love. But how much could you ever see yourself dropping? And we'll say maybe of not the right state of mind when you are at a fast food joint.
Now, I've still tricked my mind. I'll still, even if I'm out drinking, I'll still calorie count, and I won't get anything excessive.
Good for you. Good for you. How about in like your heyday, like college?
My
Okay,
guys, my friend Alonzo would always go to Del Taco and get $40 worth of food
Oh my
for
God.
himself.
At Del Taco?
For himself. It
Like
was
tacos
impressive.
are like. Well, first of all, tacos. What year are we talking? Like, are we talking like early
This
2000s,
was,
late 90s, early
Yeah, this was,
90s?
yeah. This was before I was married, so late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh my God.
38.19, I think was the number. And my boy Johnny California would do that too. But he would go to Jack in the Box.
For our, I
He
was
would
going
go
to
to
say
Jack
for
in the
our
Box
non. Oh yeah, that was my move. Jack in the Box was my move, 100%. And I would get like, I don't know, even for myself, man. Like even in my heyday, man. Like I'm like talking like maybe $10, maybe $10.
Yeah.
And you know what? And here's the thing: they would almost always be from the dollar menu.
Yeah.
So I would definitely over order. Don't get me wrong. I would feel like absolute S later that night. But I'm saying everything was off the dollar menu. But dude, Del Taco, Adam Rank, for those people who are not in Southern California, they have a lot of items that are not even $1. Like you could get a taco for like back in the late 90s for like, like 59 cents, dog. Like 40 bones at Del Taco.
Yeah.
That's
Anybody
tough.
not aware?
Wow.
It's a better California version of Taco Bell. Like nobody chooses Taco Bell over Del Taco.
Right.
But that's the thing.
Although if you're one of those psychos like myself who I have absolutely no why, it must be like old school comfort food for me or something. But you know those Mexican pizzas from Taco Bell?
Oh, those were great. Yeah.
Those things kicked ass. Like I don't know why I like those things, but golly,
No, those are
man,
good.
I love those things. Yeah.
Those were awesome. The Doritos Tacos Locos are good. So, okay, you could go there for a couple of specialty items if you were craving that, as it were. By the way, can I ever tell you that, like, I miss going to Del Taco and, like, ordering whatever I want. Because I can't do that. Because now, normally when I do it,
You
like,
feel
unless
bad.
I'm, like, leaving golf. No, but, like, I'll go with my wife, and, like,
Yeah.
I can't, like, every time my wife's like, I'm going to go get Del Taco. What do you want? Bring me a bean and cheese burrito. The dollar
it?
one.
That's
it, because she's going to order chili cheese fries, a
Ah,
quesadilla that she's not going to
okay.
eat.
Yeah.
So she'll sit there. Like, if I made this mistake. So this is what I've learned in my life. Is like, if I want, I can't do it. Because it'll be like, hey, I'm ordering a Del Beef burrito. I don't want anything else. Okay, fine. Here's half my chili cheese fries. Like, Jesus Christ, I can't eat this much food. So, like, I forget when it was last, I was at a Del Taco and I'm like, I can just have whatever I want. Like, whatever my heart desires in this moment. I don't have to worry about somebody coming in and being like, here's a bunch of food. You got to finish for me. It was liberating.
Well, it's like when you first have kids too. It's like you eat all their leftovers too. You know what I mean? Like that's how you end up putting on a little bit of weight. Anyways, by the way, the chats are alive with folks talking about fast food, which is great. Super teams. Jalen Ramsey, speaking of the Rams, trying to recruit Stephon Gilmore. Oh my God, can you imagine? The Rams, there's probably no chance in hell the Rams can pull this off. You know, they traded their assets, all their tradable assets, to go get Matt Stafford. Very smart move. But golly, could you imagine a Ramsey Gilmore, defensive backfield? Oh my God, would be insane.
How far into the future can they go with their draft picks? They start trading 2030s.
They wish. I think they've gone as far as they can go. I forgot what the official rule is. Can't you only trade out like 2 or 3 seasons worth of first round picks in the future?
I should know the answer to that, but I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Anyways, this trend of guys trying to form super teams in the NFL, I kind of sort of like it, man. But I want to get your take, man. What do you think about these players trying to form super teams in the NFL?
No, I really like it. I really think that we should see more of it. And I thought that there was a missed opportunity with Aaron Rodgers of trying to hey, let's force our way to the I don't know if we talked about it on this show. I've talked about it, I'm sure, before. But let's force our way to the Steelers. And I'll get traded to the Steelers, and the Steelers can trade Roethlisberger to Atlanta, and Atlanta could send Julio to the Steelers, and then the Steelers and then Green Bay gets Matt Ryan, and or something crazy like that.
Right.
I would love to see more of that. I think it's good. I think we have our bottom feeder teams that we need. The Lions are just, they're jobbers. You're just the jobber.
Right.
You're Hurricane Helms.
You're Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, we'll let you get over once in a while on somebody, but for the most part,
okay.
you're just there to help out the other teams that people actually care about.
Right.
And so I think the idea of super teams, because their careers are so short anyways, and everybody loves fantasy football as it is. So what's the big deal? Let's go for it.
I love it, man. We need more super teams, quite honestly. By the way, Stephon Gilmore, last year of his deal, did not report to New England's mandatory minicamp. Again, last year of his deal, he's looking for some kind of extension. But, we know Bill Belichick, Adam, right? Gilmore's 30 years old. I mean, hell, Bill traded away Richard Seymour, Chandler Jones, Darrelle Revis, Trey Flowers. All of them were in their absolute primes. I mean, him trading away Chandler Jones, well, to be honest with you, trading away Richard Seymour was an absolute stunner. And then them trading away Chandler Jones. Look how good Chandler Jones has been over the last 3, 4, 5 years, man. He hasn't aged at all. The guy's just been amazing. So Bill trading away these defensive stars who are still in their prime, still playing good football. It wouldn't be a surprise if he moved on from Stephon Gilmore if he got the right price. So I don't know. We start thinking about some of these trade rumors that are going on. And, I had researched a couple of these teams. And I don't know, man, him going to, let's say the Seattle Seahawks, playing with Pete Carroll. I just think, to me, that's an absolute perfect fit. Go over there, go with the coach that knows how to utilize their cornerbacks. I get it. Last year, Seattle's corners did not play very well, but in this offseason, they added Ahkello Witherspoon, who has played pretty well at times for San Francisco. They added Pierre Desir, who, again, has he fallen off? Yeah, absolutely. But maybe Pete Carroll can get a few games out of him at a high level. But a reclamation project in Demarius Randall, who they signed to the practice squad last year. Isn't he? I think he was a first-round draft pick, wasn't he? Back in the day for Green Bay.
Well, yeah. And Griffin left too. They've got a huge need there at the cornerback position. I think that's the biggest thing holding them back. And when you were talking about teams that should make a move, I think that Seattle lends itself to, because they're a team that also likes to trade their draft picks. They're not afraid to make a move as well. They want to keep Russell Wilson healthy, remember, or happy, I should say. That is one of the biggest things that we need to recognize too, is it's one thing to be oh, they might need some help on the offensive line. But I think, for somebody like Russell Wilson, we also need help defensively, especially in that division with some dynamite quarterbacks that they're going to be going up against. So to me, that makes the most sense, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Although the Chandler Jones thing, I know he had 1 sack last year before he left with his biceps injury, but good Lord, that guy was so good. So
he was
good.
ridiculously good. He was ridiculously good for years and years and years. One of the truly, Adam Rank, one of the most underrated defensive linemen in the NFL over the past, I don't know, what would you say, like 10 years? I mean, the guy was so good, and no one really talked about him on that same stratosphere. And he was every bit the player J.J. Watt was. He really was. And no one ever talked about Chandler Jones. He was so good, man. And he's been so good for so long in Arizona. So anyways, anytime I can give Chandler Jones a little bit of hype, I'll do that, because I just feel like, my God, he's so underrated, man.
Yeah, they're doing. I'm curious of what they're doing in Arizona, because I know they brought in J.J. Watt, but they still like Hassan Reddick left and goes to Carolina, which was obviously the smart move, because it's funny, these guys have this career. They have these career years. And it's so easy to get swept up into like, we got to bring him back. And it's like, no, you let him walk. Like the same thing with him, same thing with Corey Davis. Like, you had your chance for a long time to prove yourself. Just because you did it in a contract year doesn't mean anything. And now Chandler Jones is in his contract year, possibly holding out. I'm curious if the Cardinals end up trading him, because that's a lot of sacks that they're going to have to. I know they were 4th in sacks last year. But even bringing in J.J. Watt, that's a lot to ask if you don't have Chandler Jones back, who I know didn't give you anything last season.
By the way, the Cardinals should absolutely be a team that is interested in Stephon Gilmore, only because they're secondary right now.
They let go Patrick Peterson.
Patrick Peterson is gone.
Malcolm Butler is their guy.
Which is no.
Not good.
No, absolutely no. On the other side, they've got Robert Alford, which is like, again, no. Like, if we're putting together, by the way, if we're putting together a team from like 5 years ago, if this is like the 2016 Cardinals, it's a really good looking defensive lineup. J.J. Watt, Robert Alford, Malcolm Butler. All right, cool. I'm down with it. You know what I mean? But even Chandler Jones. But it's like, oh my God, no. If you're running Malcolm Butler and Robert Alford as your starting cornerbacks, it's not going to work, guys. It's not going to work. Where do they put AJ Green and Larry Fitzgerald out on the field at the same time? Unbelievable 2016 squad. This is an awesome looking 2016 squad. Cardinals, it's not 2016. My guys, it's 2021. This is not what you want. Unbelievable, man. But yeah, no, listen, first of all, I thought they actually are doing okay at linebacker. Like, you know, they took Zaven Collins. They've got Isaiah Simmons, Jordan Hicks, who can be like a rotational run stopper or whatever it is. And then they picked up my guy from Cal too. Oh my gosh, Evan Weaver out of Cal, who's going to be like an old school, you know, run stopping inside linebacker. But anyways, they definitely need corner help for sure. I want to go back to Seattle real quick though, Adam Rank, because do you remember last year, maybe first half of the season, Seattle's defense historically bad, right? Like they were giving up the most yards per game ever in NFL history or whatever it was. And they were they were just awful. And to me, what people don't realize about when it was that whole let Russ cook movement, you got to understand they were letting him do that in the first half of the season. And that also corresponded to historically bad defensive numbers. They wanted to bring a little bit of balance back to that in the second half, which is why they kind of sort of took the air out of the ball. They ran the ball a hell of a lot more. And it was why? It was to protect their defense, because Pete knew you can't win ball games giving up 45 points a game. Yeah. Even if Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett are putting up video game numbers, even then, it's extremely difficult to win games. They were trying to play it a little bit more, you know, tight to the vest. And I thought that was a smarter move. It sucks for fantasy. Absolutely sucks for fantasy. But in real life terms, you know, if you can kind of sort of keep the game closer and then let Russ win it late, I don't know, man. Like, that's not a bad strategy, to be honest with you. And now I get it. Russell Wilson is more upset. But if you want to let Russ cook, if you want this offense to thrive. I think Pete Carroll has to feel more comfortable about the defense, which is why they tried to address that cornerback position this offseason. But adding Gilmore would lock it down on one side. And, man, that would help Pete Carroll's defense tremendously. And, as you mentioned, it would help Russ a lot, too, because it will allow him to do whatever the hell he wants to get done on offense. So, man, if you're Seattle, man, go get that trade. Go make that deal happen, no?
No, I'm with you 100%. I think that you're in the most competitive division in the NFL, and you got to do everything you can to stop those opposing quarterbacks, even Jimmy Garoppolo. But I don't know. I think Seattle's in such win now mode. They've been in perpetual win now mode. Like, these are the moves you need to be making. And to me, I think that Seahawks team is very interesting, and I do know that they made some additions on the offensive line.
Right.
But overall, that defense could be bad once again. Them and the Cardinals.
Yeah. No, it's true. Look, they don't have a ton of pieces. They really, really don't. So I'm curious, like, I get it. They picked up Shane Waldron, pass coordinator from the Rams. They want to try to open it up. They got rid of Schottenheimer. And yeah, man, it all signs point to them wanting to throw the ball more, them wanting to put the offense more in Russell Wilson's hands. But if that defense is trash again, that's going to be putting a big time break, the brakes on what Russell Wilson wants to get down. Two more teams, Adam Rank. I want to get your thoughts here. Dallas Cowboys, obviously they've got cap issues, but man, I think Trayvon Diggs is a really nice young corner. I know he struggled mightily at times last year, but I think Trayvon Diggs has potential upside. And pairing Diggs and letting Diggs be kind of like that second guy to Gilmore's first, that's looking nice. You know what I mean? And that would look extremely nice if you're Dallas. And then finally, how about the Raiders, too? They signed Casey Hayward this offseason. And again, Hayward getting a little bit long in the tooth, not as shut down as he once was, but still a really good player. So, you think about Gilmore and Hayward back there, kind of sort of causing havoc for the Raiders. That's not a bad fit either. That's not a bad fit.
I love the Raiders fit of the two. I feel like the Raiders need them the most, obviously in a division where you're playing Patrick Mahomes twice a year, Justin Herbert twice a year.
Right.
Drew Lock twice. Okay, maybe not that one. But, you look at
Potentially Aaron Rodgers twice a year?
Potentially Aaron Rodgers. Like, that is the move. And, like, for the longest time, back before a lot of you probably were even born, the Raiders were that team that would find players like this and take them to great success. Mike Haynes, a former New England Patriots cornerback, joined the Raiders during their run when they were winning Super Bowls. To me, it would be very Al Davis-like to do it. And not in a bad way. It's not being dismissive or anything like that, but it's just the kind of move needed to be made because it's tough, to always just try to go through the draft. And at some point, the Raiders, however close you think you are, make that move and push yourself over the top because I think the Raiders definitely could be a solid playoff team if they got a player like Gilmore.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun too. I don't know. There's something about seeing good defensive players don the black. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it, man, that just looks right. You know what I'm saying?
Richard Seymour went there.
Richard Seymour went there. I mean, I actually think back to like when Nnamdi Asomugha was a thing, and just was like a shutdown corner for the then Oakland Raiders. It just looked right, man. But you're right. Like Richard Seymour playing in the black hole and just and doing damage in that Raiders black, man. I don't know what it is, but something just feels right about having a good defensive player don the Oakland Raiders uniform. Anyways, I'm excited to see where Gilmore ends up because I would be surprised if New England held on to Stephon Gilmore this year. Because you can't just, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could. Other teams who are poorly run do this all the time. But you can't just let them, walk at the end of the season, right? Like, you got to get assets back.
No, for sure. It would be off-brand for the Patriots to hold on to him for one more year.
By the way, I think I don't totally know how compensatories work. It's very, very confusing to me. But if he were to get traded and play for a different team and then he walked, I think the team that traded for him actually would get a compensatory pick back, which should help fuel the trade market as well. Anyways, neither here nor there. Bottom line is, I know you've got to go, Adam Rank, so I'm going to let you jet out of here. But, man, always fun chatting with you. Love talking football. And quite frankly, I love all the folks that are in the chats too. And fast food. I think half the show is about fast food, which is, I'm not complaining about that.
That's off-season fodder, yeah. Del Taco for life.
Del Taco for life, man. I hear you. All right, for Adam Rank, I'm James Coe. We will see you next Wednesday, barring some personal issues. I don't know, man. Like, I know I've missed a couple of shows here. I feel kind of bad, but I had to take care of a couple things here and there, but it's all good. We will see you next Wednesday. Adam Rank, say bye.